So this is the Marvel Avengers Endgame movie, the Iron Patriot. So finally I was able to get one. So just imagine that I've been searching for this figure a very long time. I wasn't able to get one when the Endgame movie was out, because I was in search of other figures, and this was a low priority on my list. And when the Endgame figures were already dwindling in supply, that was the time that I was searching for this figure, and then the COVID-19 hit, and then that's it. I wasn't able to purchase this figure because of the supply chain problem, plus figures were already pretty much sold out. So I really had to search for this figure. Now the ones that I saw online were really pricey, so really scalpers price, so I don't go for that kind of deals. So I just waited and waited, so I would do my toy hunts, and finally at my local GameStop I would finally find this figure and bag one at a discounted price. So it's just pure luck. So just check out your local GameStops. So if this guy is there, do grab it, because you won't be dissatisfied with your purchase. So if you're into the War Machine theme of Iron Man armor, then this is the thing or the armor that you should be getting. I already seen the other iterations of this suit, and I was not impressed. Only this with this Iron Patriot, because it looks like an upgraded version of your basic, the Granddaddy War Machine armor. So this figure, I already made a review of this figure. I purchased this figure online at amazon.com, and it was quite pricey, something like $29.99, and it was shipped. But comparatively speaking, compared to the other offerings online, especially scalpers price, the $29.99 shipped with Amazon was really a deal too. But this figure, I got this more cheaper, especially I was able to get this at GameStop, and I used my points to purchase this figure. So that's it. Now, with regards to articulation, yes, there would be some mobility issues with the arms, because the arms is just limited to that range of motion. But it's you don't fret about this mobility issue over here, because even though you're limited to that motion, you still have a cut over there on the bicep, which moves. You could move this that way, and this arm still has movement, so you could move that around 360 as you wish. So 2 points, actually 1, 2, and you still could do that. And these big beefy hands, they still have good motion too. So right out of the box, just apply a little bit of heat using your wife's hair dryer, and this thing is already playable, so you won't be really dissatisfied. So just like your different, I mean, not this figure, just let's concentrate on this one, because this has a cut on the waist, so there's movement on the waist, but this does not have, only a ball on the diaphragm area, so you're limited to that movement. but with the legs you could kick that high, could still kick that high. So pretty good motion, range of motion for a War Machine figure, this Iron Patriot. So I've seen the other iterations of this guy, and I'm really not impressed. I really got this figure because of this overhead weaponry. So you have these two cannons and this massive or block of missile pads left and right, and you still have twin forearm cannons, and that is still a cannon over there. And if you could take a look at the inner pieces of the forearm, I think those are still missile pads under the forearm armor, and he still has a missile pad on the thigh. So this guy is really depth up as compared to the classic War Machine. You only have this missile pad, the minigun or Gatling gun, and those two forearm cannons. So this one looks like an upgraded version of this Granddaddy War Machine. There. Now, the other thing that I really also like with this, the design of this figure, aside from the color scheme, it's nice and bright, really a good range of blue hue on the figure, and just the right tint of red on the pieces of armor, but not really much to really throw off the color scheme of the figure. So when you look at it, it's just colored right, more of the blue, less of the red, a little bit of the silver, and really impressive figure, really impressive looking figure. And with the design of the feet, if you have all that armaments, you call it, you need a really stable platform for a foot. So not just your basic boot of a armor. So this looks like they are shooting platforms, the feet. So when you stand the figure and he's ready to fire all of his weaponry, then he is sure to really take good shots because he has stable footing. Okay, I forgot to mention that of course you don't have there's limited range of motion for these pads and these guns. Actually, the guns, they really don't do much as to articulation, unlike this other figure where the articulation is really great, because when you move the head, you could move these two weapon systems together with the head. So where the War Machine guidance system, or where War Machine would look at, or Rhodey would look at to guide all his shots, that's where the shots would go. So if he looks up, you could point the pads and the minigun up. You could point to the side like this. You could put that this way, but you can't do that with these pieces over here. So they're just more for aesthetic purpose. So yeah, and they're just limited by that range of motion. So not much really. But for the looks department, as to how stunning this figure looks, oh, that this is where this figure shines. So if you want a War Machine display piece, so you could put the old school War Machine over here back to back with the Iron Patriot. So if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe.